Stories have always shaped human beings. Stories that capture our dreams, our ambitions, and even our fears. But every story has a beginning, including the stories about universities and their learning spaces. As a multi-campus institution, the University of the Free State has been contributing to stories that shape local, national, and global knowledge for more than 121 years. In a world that is always changing, it has remained relevant, shaping minds, producing ideas that matter, all in support of the university's vision to contribute meaningfully to responsible societal futures. Every university is built on ideas, but ideas need a home. A place where knowledge is collected, protected, shared, and grown. At the University of the Free State, that home has always been the library. This documentary traces an extraordinary journey from a modest collection of books established in 1983 to a modern, dynamic campus library that serves thousands of students, researchers, and communities on 3 campuses. It is a story shaped by people, librarians, leaders, students, and visionaries united by the shared belief that access to information has the power to transform lives.
My name is Charlotte Lowe, and I have started my career in the library in January 1986. So I'm one of the longest serving employees of the Library in Information Science. When I started my studies, the library was still housed in the Johannes Brill building, and it was a dusty, claustrophobic place. And then the move took place to the new building. And when I started here in the new building, it was the most modern building for that time on the campus. And it was spacious and clean and wonderful to be here.
My name's Abby Lombard. I'm a librarian by trade. My whole adult life, except for 8 years I spent at the university. In 1983, the move to the new Sasol Library was initiated.
The move from the Johannes Brill building to the new Sasol Library building was well organized by Mrs. Alida Dippenaar.
It took about 3 months to plan everything. Mrs. Dippenaar and Johan Mouton were the project leaders at that stage.
And they built a specially built ramp to move the boxes from the window of the cataloguing office.
And the boxes were then sent down the chute straight onto the trucks.
And then a few ladies had the task to drive those trucks then over to the main library, where all the marked boxes then was unpacked, and every staff member has been involved.
It was a very jovial atmosphere and very, very well organized. So when it came time to move the collection, it only took a week.
From handwritten card catalogs to tiny reading rooms to digital databases, maker spaces, and podcast studios, the University of the Free State's libraries have never stood still. It has grown with the university, adapted to new generations, and responded to a changing world. Each era faced its own challenges, from limited resources and rising student numbers to swiftly meeting the evolving technological and information needs of our users. Despite this, each era produced globally competitive graduates ready to make an impact on both local and international platforms.
So then the new journey started with computerization, and it was a new world.
Over the years, the library has continued to evolve. It moved from paper-based systems to digital platforms, from silent reading rooms to shared learning environments, from local collections to worldwide access in seconds. Each transformation was never just about technology. It has always been about people. Leaders who believed in progress, staff who mastered new systems and overcame challenges, students who shaped how spaces are used.
Initially, it was quite a challenge for staff who lack the skills of computers and technology, and there was also a lot of training involved.
We realized that if we were to succeed, the teaching staff will also have to be brought into it to run the project with us. So it was really training our own staff and also obviously purchasing the needed equipment, software, and the databases and the resources.
So it was rewarding, and to know that you can provide a better service to everybody and to make information immediately available.
I am Hercules Combring. I'm the co-director of the Interdisciplinary Center for Digital Futures, quite a mouthful, and I'm also a senior lecturer within the Faculty of Economics and Management Sciences, and I started at the UFS in 2008. So let me just quickly paint a very clear picture about where the library was. So in 2008 to 2010, the library was going through a lot of transformation. There was this move and this push towards digitization, of course, but also getting the catalogs right. There was an old system, if I remembered correctly, by which things were catalogued in a certain way, and the library was transitioning into a newer way of doing things, which complicates stuff. And it was quite daunting because the front desk was just a tiny little booth with a tiny little computer that you log, I'm gonna, get this journal. And then when you open the back, and I stand under correction, but there were like 40 rows of journals, the length of the library, and from top to bottom, literally from the ceiling down.
Today, the UFS libraries are no longer just a reading space. They are places to create, to connect, to discover, and to imagine. Maker spaces transform curiosity into innovation. Digitization preserves fragile collections and expand access. The podcast studio amplifies the voices of the UFS researchers, scholars, and communities. Study spaces turn effort into achievement.
My name is Jeanette Molopiani. I'm the director of the University of the Free State Libraries. I started this position in 2021. I saw that the previous director has really done a lot of work. My duty was to take it forward. And when I took it forward, I realized that she has worked on the human capital.
My name is Kitumetsi Betty Esther. I joined the UFS Library Information Services in 2010. What was key for us, because Professor Jonathan Johnson always talked about my student, make sure that my student is happy. And so we did everything in our power to make sure that we contribute to that happiness of the student. We knew that the library contributes on a daily basis to student success.
Then I had to work on advancing where she started, especially looking at our services and our technologies. So I was more inspired to drive the library more into a technology-driven space, and also making sure that our staff thrives and grows.
The future now calls for a new kind of library, one where technology and innovation opens doors for every student. A place where artificial intelligence supports learning, where access is seamless and in the palm of your hand, and where creativity and research come together to shape tomorrow. And yet, one thing will never change. The heart of the library will always be the people, those who teach, who learn, and who make knowledge possible.
Initially, I used to think that the library is just a place of books. But then by exposing myself to the library, I've learned that it's much more than that. It is a space of creativity. It is a space where you can interact with other people and where other entities within the library can help you on your academic journey, but not just limited to academics, but also can support your projects.
Even myself, when I came to library, I thought library is a boring place. I thought you only come here to library just to take out books, study. It's all about the silent, nothing much. But now being here and then being inside the library, I get to see behind the scene of the library. It's not about studying, writing tests, preparing for exam. There's a lot that is happening in library.
I come nearly every day to the library to gather the necessary textbooks. And if I have any questions, I can inquire a librarian. So the library has played a huge role in my development as a student.
Doesn't matter how much you know, who you are, whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether your father is the president of the country or, you are the child of a farmer. You come in here, it equalizes the space. So that is the main thing that I cherish, that we have to provide the spaces, that we provide the services.
We have revitalized our libraries. It's still in process. We have a new medical library, Friscott Medical Library. The music library is being revamped, revitalized so that it becomes a world-class music library. The South Campus Library has equally been repurposed, revamped. And then we are currently busy with the TK Mupedi Library as well to make sure that the spaces that we provide to our students are as aesthetic as possible. The technology, we are digitizing collections. The university has gotten us best cutting-edge equipment to make sure that we digitize the collection. We have return shoots. Students do not bring the books physically to the library anymore. They just drop the book and they get an email to say the book has been successfully returned. We have the library app. They can access our resources on their apps. Whether they are at home, we have self-checkout machines where students can just check out books by themselves. Their academic success is crucially and very much important for us.
This is a service that you do not want to miss. Let us be here at the UFS and use library services to be turned into knowledgeable, in the true sense of the word, knowledgeable citizens. The country needs you.
I hope that future staff and students will appreciate the long way that the library has come to a vibrant service provider of information and supporting them to reach their goals.
The library today that I witnessed is like a dream come true.
I really congratulate the library staff, the University of the Free State, for realizing that the presence of a university library is actually an investment in scholarship.
Our students come from different backgrounds, and that is also important to us. I normally tell my team that, when you serve a student, remember, it can be Pule from Freedom Square, and Pule might be staying with his grandmother, and Pule might be overwhelmed by what they are seeing for the first time and they are afraid. Make them feel relaxed and welcome and serve them with love. And remember, when Pula graduates and builds a house at home, you have contributed. When he buys a car, you have contributed to that car. When he gets a promotion, you have contributed. So you have a bigger role to play in the life of each and every student that set a foot in this library. So whatever that you do, do it professionally, with commitment, with respect, and with love. That's inclusiveness that we are talking about.
From its first shelf to its newest digital space, the University of the Free State's libraries continue their journey, growing, adapting, reaching further than ever before. This is not the end of the story. It is simply the next chapter in a legacy of learning, advancing the university's vision to contribute meaningfully to responsible societal futures.